Dear Democrats, we are going to start our question and answer session with the written questions. We'll invite Vincent to start the session with presenting written questions, please.
First question. I was able to sit with stillness, but it took constant motion. Every second I was watching the inward and outward, making mental thoughts like judging, thinking, criticizing. I was noting pain in different body parts, pain in the right knee, itch in the left ear, pain in left shoulder, and focusing on the body parts without pain, no pain in left knee, no itch in the right ear, no pain in right shoulder. I was also checking and correcting my posture often. Although I was able to focus, monitor and control my thoughts and sit in stillness, it took a lot of work and was tiring to do so. Am I doing this correctly? Thank you for your time.
Yeah, at the beginning you have to invest that kind of a thing, just like in agriculture. First harrowing is very, very difficult. And if you are doing wetland farming, first you have to do harrowing and then ploughing, first ploughing and then harrowing, and second time, third time only it becomes level and you can sow paddy seeds. Likewise, at the beginning it's very, very painful or very expensive, but when you do it again and again, you develop so much of ways and means, and therefore once you train accustomed, you have to respect, value your first investment, and as much as possible maintain this trend. That's a difficult thing, difficult thing in the household life. Once the game started and again it will just neglected. Whenever you are again starting, you have to invest like that. But anyway, whatever may be your experience in this kind of initial start will be helpful you to give confidence as well as to understand the shortcuts.
Dear Vanaya, I want to recall an experience I have had during the walking meditation. I found that my body is in front of me and I am following the body. This is kind of shocking to see, the separation of the mind and body. This continued for a while, and at the end, my mind had to get into the body. The mind did not like to get back into the body, as getting into the body is lazy. This was the first time I realized the mind and body are two separate things in a practical way, although I knew theoretically they were two separate units. It almost felt like I experienced my death while living. In another walking meditation session, I felt like my body was behind. The way my mind saw the body was very strange. The body was like a sack, but it had open-ended or jagged margins, and supposedly body parts were not there. The remaining jagged-ended margins gave my mind a real shock and fear. There were no distinct body parts. All my mind saw is tiny little light bulbs flashing and dimming like in a bizarre bend. After that, my mind did not want to meditate for a while.
Just like if we are making a video, how to synchronize the voice and the pictures. When the synchronizing is not so dark, not so proper, you can see some kind of disarray. Likewise, when you keep on meditating, you feel like you are a third person observing yourself. So let the body to walk and you get a sight and observe yourself. So till that happens, we call everything as preliminary work. Once you learn, let the body to walk and observe. As a separate person, then only meditation start. In other ways, in sitting, when and where you note and keep in breath and out breath in with this is preliminary. At the time you feel the breathing is happening, you are a mere distance observer. Then onward, it becomes meditation. So that is called a kind of familiarization. So this is the part you can't do at your deathbed. When you become too old, when you become too sick. If you have done it beforehand, of course at the deathbed or in the sick bed or in the old age, you can make you sit. You can get a little distance from yourself. And that is how the people learn how to get a distance from oneself when you have a terminal kind of a disease. If you familiarize it, easy you to remove like a already ripened banana. You can remove the peel and eat it. If it is not ripened, very difficult to remove the peel. So this part you have to do beforehand, and there are, you can see audio visual like visual part and the audio part, two separate things. So likewise this separation or disintegration or dismantling happen in a multifaceted way. So it says that at the beginning, as far as you are concentrating and focusing on your body, it's called you take your gross body, that is kaya. It's being called as it's a gross body, you take it as your object of meditation. And when you are that means you take the breath or rising and falling or your posture. When the meditation deep, when the object and the meditating mind become close, it becomes manomaya. You can see the astral part of your body. It is just a negative of a photo like. The photo is with the full detail and like a developed photo or positive thing, and you can see the negative. It appears the negative is the one produced the photo. And without fear, if you can still continue, it becomes sanyamyattavatlabha. You see, it is nothing but just a perception. It becomes still subtle and subtle. When you go there, if you feel, if you wish to know whether the breath is there, yes, breath is there. If you are not searching, breath is not there. If there are sounds outside, if you project yourself, yes, sounds are there. But if you are not projecting, it is not there. And the thoughts, inner thoughts are there. Parts, but they are not chain-like, it is not train-like. So they are just inner, the flow, huge amount. But whenever you focus, they become chain thoughts and train thoughts and the meaning come into play. So likewise, whenever you pay attention, they become thoughts. Whenever you look at everything as a unit, as a system, they are there. The basics are there. Whenever you're necessary, you pay attention and make tension, make frustration, and then storytelling and fabrication starts. And when that happens, the ones are just neutral. So the way you understand everything, not to get it, not to commit, not to storytell, not to recognize, just cognizing but not recognizing, then you find they are waiting like a hawk. The moment you go there, you will go. So very interesting. And how much day by day we are making our own tension, we are making our own frustration. Then how much you have problem. That I have so much of problems. I have so much of troubles. I have so much of responsibility. So ultimately you start to sell it to the others. If the others are not going to buy it, clash. Other person will say, okay, I will buy it. But then you have to wait till I am selling mine. So that is what called gossiping. That is what you call SMS. That's what you call newsfeed. So these things are happening. So you have to learn how to disclaim, how to dissolve. And of course they are invited, they are pressing from the peripheral level. They never come into the level, come into the domain as far as few secondary. They are just suggesting, waiting at their inner thoughts, sound waves, pains, primary object, everywhere. When you pay attention, they start stopping. So that is happening only at sanya level. So there only you can't discriminate the concept and reality. So there are the Buddha, the first Dhammapada start. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. Mano Siddha Nomaya. Everything is, mind is the forerunner. I think Mano Pubbangama, Mano is the forerunner, precursor. Mano Pubbangama is the forerunner, and ultimately, mind, Mano made. Whenever you do it with a good mind, developed mind, everything you prepare becomes auspicious, good and well done. Whenever you do it with a bad mind, whatever you do, it's become bad results. So like you plant a bitter gourd. Buddha says that seed, that root, that plant suck only the bitter part of the fertilizer. And then make bitter parts, bitter gourd, bitter fruits. If you plant a banana tree or mango, it sucks only the good part of the earth and it makes sweet seeds and the sweet fruits. So likewise, the mind is preparing so much of things. So whatever your idiotness, you claim me, money, myself. So if you learn the art, disclaiming time, let the body to walk and you observe. Let the body to walk, meditate, sit and be mindful, and then it's a kind of a distance. And later the presentation itself, when they are metamorphosized one to the other, when you go to the sun and man, astral body, you can't think about this part. You have to completely get out of that, and then that becomes known. And from there, you go to the perception world, and when you go there, you can, if you think about that, that world will be distracted, disturbed, and you will come in. They are exclusively different, three ways, like something inside, like three cascades. So many even do not know these three dimensions, and they are not happy even with the sexual world itself, sensual world itself. So they have no chance to understand the gross body, they have no other chance to understand the astral body, they have no other chance to understand the conceptual, perceptual body. So therefore they have the jealousy, fighting, all the bad traits, and the worst side of the human mind is at the lower end. When you go upper and upper, not necessary, because it is a walkover. You win without a fight, without a rivalry. And a lot of vacancies are there. We'll try and see.
Here on the day, during morning meditation, I was staying with my steps by noting, respect, right way. Then the thought arose. What day will I live? What day will I devote on? Very verse was. I returned my mind to my walking and feeling the sensations of pleasure, lightness on the soles of my feet. Then, several steps later, I felt myself thinking again about the reporting. I told myself not to worry, that this was addressed in the written instructions. I stopped being irritated and returned comfortably to my walking. I do have anxiety about reporting. 2. Do you have any other suggestions on how to make it easier? Thank you sincerely.
This is what you call delimiting or discrete understanding. What's the difference between left leg touch and the right leg touch? So in practical sense, when you keep the left leg, are you sure this is left leg? Are you sure this is not right leg? So do it in that kind of a verifying or verification and then put that into reporting. So that is the way communication takes place. Otherwise, when you say, when I feel touch, it's fairly good, okay, but you can't separate them out, left leg and the right leg. And once that is done, lifting of the left leg, dropping of the left leg. What's the difference between lifting movement and dropping movement? And once done, that achieve lifting, moving, dropping. Likewise, increase the number so much so mindfulness becomes sharp. Mindfulness becomes very efficient. And communication becomes short and sweet. So crispy. So that is how the scientific world and the computer language became, we call it the technical language. Technical writing becomes so sharp. So that we don't do in our day-to-day gossiping, and it is sound pollution. You disturb the atmosphere, that's all it happens. No communication takes place. So therefore, when and where you learn, it's a good question because after for effort only writing and writing whatever possible, and then easy to answer that kind of question. But that kind of direct answers and direct questions only exist in the early part of the meditation. Then the meditation develops. Answers are not so discrete, black and white. They become merge each other. So at the beginning, the discretion, the delimitation is a must. Then only the progress you can gauge, assume, you can go. Otherwise, right from the beginning, everything is in mixed up. Very difficult to find it out. So therefore, the reporting, interviews, discussions are very important. Leave aside your personality, personal preference, liking and disliking. Exactly report what is happening, what did you come to know, what did you experience in left versus right, in versus outward, right, rising mode versus falling mode, stretching, bending arm versus stretching arm. You know, there is always everything is very discreetly different. Your mind knows when you cut your finger, which finger. It's so sharp. Each and every breath is being reported. Each and every change of the 1/10 of a centigrade in the temperature is being reported. So it is none of your effort. It is the way it is happening. So you not only grasping them, you not only discreetly understanding them, you report it. That is how you appreciate the functions of the mind, or we can say functions of the brain. So that is how you put it in practice.
Venerable Sir, please let me ask you about an advice that you gave me 2 years ago. During those days, I was doing sitting meditation enthusiastically with less attention to the walking meditation. Often during the sittings, I was experiencing series of sudden body shakes after experiencing blackout moments. And so I was wondering why they were so intense and frequent. Was not sleeping for sure within brackets. Your advice to me at that time was to focus more on the walking meditation. Now, 2 years later, I am summing up my experience along the body shake aspect. It appears that the body shakes are less intense now. On very few occasions, just prior to the body shakes, a feeling like coming through a dark tunnel was experienced. Many other times, the mind was aware of that when shake is going to happen. Just a fraction of a moment prior to the shaking. Initially, I did not believe it, but it repeated several times on different sittings, at different times, etc. Anyway, I have no doubts or worries. Please let me know the secret for describing no box meditation for me. 2 years ago, after listening to my issues at that time, may you have a father from any expecting goal. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
From the two aspects, one thing is this kind of jerk, sudden awakening, it's a matter of surveillance, matter of vigilance, matter of diligence. So one thing you can do in sitting is noting. By noting, you release energy, in the slow release of energy. But for the slow release of energy, your battery must be charged beforehand. So charging of the battery happens in walking meditation. And in before sitting, walking, after sitting, nodding. So when it happens, the events become very vivid. Thin slicing of time happens. So you understand this sudden awakening or sudden jerk is not a single thought moment, it's a series of thought. So you try to expand it. When it's happening, the jerk is reduced. It's happening as a slow process like. As far as the jerks are concerned, you can understand once the episode finished only in this business. While you are in an unknown area, you can't understand. Whenever you get a jerk and back to the senses. Before that, you are in a consciousness unrelated to your senses. It's a very beautiful area. It's a very rejuvenating area. But our mind cannot be aware, be mindful to that. Soon you awake, you get a shock, or you get sometimes a discouragement or disappointment or something like a mistake. If it is so, you can't deductively go back to the event and what happened before the jerk, whether it was a sleepiness or it was something blank, what happened like. But if you go prepare, soon you come back. First and foremost, you have to understand whether you awake into your same primary object or you are bewildered. So if you go prepared and it is coming back to your primary object, then onward it is situation become positive. You can understand I come from the unrelated, come from the consciousness unrelated to senses to the consciousness related to senses. So there you see that the black hole, the blind spot over the gap. Then you have to understand, you understand only the end of the gap, but in the beginning of it. How did you enter into this unknown area? It is completely out of your subject because of lack of vigilance, lack of diligence. The entrance into this unknown area may be the boredom, the monotony, the lethargic nature. If you look at the boredom and the lethargic nature and monotony with the negative mind, with the hateful mind, you are the failure. You have to go prepared and understand whenever meditation is progressing, every object appears grey. If the mind is not progressive, the mind is very, with the pleasure principle, it see only the love spots. It not look at the bad things. We never look at something boring, never look at something irritating, never look at something monotonous. So that is what the danger domain. You go for desirability, you go for enticing, you go for agreeable thing and hate this thing. But when you observing one object at the beginning, it appears gross and then subtle, and when you become subtlest, boredom is the part. monotony is the part, and lethargic, slimy. The day you love it, the day you go prepared, you can say now these are the early signs that you are going to go into hiding, and during the hiding time, it is like hibernation. Very difficult you to be aware. But if you can see the early sign, then you see you are learning your unconscious. Slowly, you know how the way into the unconscious, and during the unconscious, maybe you cannot perceive, comprehend. But at the end of the unconscious is the conscious jerk. More you know the early part, less and less the intensity of the jerk shaking nature. So you are slowly developing a connection with your unconscious or subconscious. And imagine a day, you can not only see the beginning and the end, if you can see the middle. You know now I am in unconscious, I am in the subconscious, and I know I don't know. So that's a point. I know I don't know. But I don't know, but I know. And that's a full knowledge. All the other beginning and end is partial knowledge. The partial knowledge is always intention. Always in frustration. But if you, in the middle area, if you do not know tension, if you know it, it's a pleasure. It's a gladness. So the whole meditation is to, whenever it happens, try to go in with the welcoming idea, prepared mind. And one day, I'll awaken into the unknown. It is called awakening into a dream or awakening into a sleep. So only by noting and knowing of the wakeful state, you can catch all unknown. No area you are not awake. And that's a kind of proving of a null hypothesis, right? First you have to define the null hypothesis, do the experiment and disprove by each and every experience, because between two thoughts, between two pains, between two breaths, this gap is there. You are always slipping over, and that is the function of desire. Desire is connecting to the tip of the iceberg, from the tip to tip. Never allow the mind to go to the berg underneath. So you go slow, thin slicing time, and you are trying to understand these two icebergs. Tips are two different things. So just see in between. Just see. If you see this flow, it's made out of planks, pieces of planks. Now it is fixing in such a way, appear like a one plate, one wax layer. So if you start from here sweeping, you can take the dust to the other corner. Because no in-between splits, no cleavages. But imagine after 20 years, everything starts. So when you start to sweep, the dust particle will fall into, because the plant-like nature is disappearing. So we consider it as a deterioration. We consider it as a bad dog. We consider it as a lacquer. So we wanted to see our mind like a wax. Very nice one, just like a single plate. The day you understand it is also slowly fractional, and all the dust particles are there. Whether dust available or not, when you start to see from each and every cleavage, each and every fraction, the dust. So this is very interesting. But for that, you must have so much of confidence, so much faith, so much morality, so much mindfulness. Otherwise, it appears like a negative background. But without that, you are just on the linear side of your mind. You are just on the rational side of the mind. You are never ready to understand the magic of the mind. The mind science. But you can't do it with some other minds. You can't think to do it in the past or future or other places or otherwise. To do it with yourself. But when it's happening, mind started to scatter off. It starts to disintegrate. So if you consider it as something negative or something discouraging or inferior, then the result itself or the answer itself will be a problem. Otherwise, when you are really understand it, each and every problem become an answer. You know they are good signs to go from known to unknown. So therefore, walking meditation is an informal way. That is to keep your mind vigilant, make your battery charged, but be prepared, just like in the first motto in the scouting, be prepared, be vigilant. That's the teaching of the Buddha. Atmadena Sampadet. You have to be intelligent, you have to be vigilant. Then only you can study these things, otherwise will be bypassing or just escaping. So it's a clear doorway, opening gateway to Vipassana.
Dear Bhante, I would like to report on my walking meditation. Usually, I notice my left and right legs touching the ground as my primary objective. My mind often wanders off to the past or future, but as soon as I realize that, my attention comes back to the walking, and I can watch the left and the right again. Yesterday, you mentioned that it is difficult to watch both the legs. One can watch just one leg. So, today I try to look at just one leg while walking. My mind automatically picked the left as the prominent leg and started watching it. Maybe it's because I had slight pain in my knee from the earlier sitting session. Usually, any pain left from the sitting sessions disappear during the walking meditation. So, I did not worry and kept looking at the left leg. I could see more details in the walking than when watching both the legs. When the left leg stepped on some twigs, I could feel their pressure on the sole of the foot. When stepping on the bare ground, it felt smoother and more comfortable. The details helped me keep the mindfulness intact. My mind would still wander off to the past or to the future from time to time. But the frequency of this happening was frequent, and I would notice that it's wandered off way faster and come back to my left quicker. I think I should continue just looking at the left leg while walking, as it helps keep my mindfulness better. Is this the correct way to move forward? Please advise. Thank you.
Last time when I was in New Zealand, I was in a room of the mother of the owner of the house, and she's Buddhist and the owner is not Buddhist. But they're happy, we go and do retreat, and we did children retreat also. And in the house, a lot of books. I get mad when I see a lot of books. So there's the one book, it indicates the skeleton walking, the walking skeleton. And immediately I got with a pencil and draw it again. And then I just wanted to make a picture. When you are walking, what happened in the lower part of your body? When the right leg, left leg going to shift the pressure from the periphery, from the sole through the ankle to the knee to the hip to the atlas bone. So the right leg is just ready. And then right leg when it is going to take the power line and the left leg is ready. So each time whenever the power line gets straightened, the pressure going from the sole to the atlas bone. And if you only study the lower part of your body, it is like a wheel with so much of spokes. One after the other, it is taking a chance. So Buddha took an example out of that. He says, when a wheel is rotating, for example, take a bicycle wheel, and at a time, one spoke is get alive, and when it is passing, next spoke is get alive. And likewise, the pressure is changing from the periphery to the ring to the heart. So exactly this happened when you are walking. So I developed a picture and try to teach children, see how the pressure transmission happens. For that, how the power line is straightening whenever you pass. But in this case, he has mentioned only the straightening of the left leg, but exactly the same thing happened. So you have to pay attention to the power line, whatever may be shifting transferring the power. So therefore, Buddha has given another epithet for the sati, ekaro. Hara means the radius or spoke. At a time, only one spoke is transferring the power, pressure, and then when it goes behind, the other one comes. When it goes behind, the other one happens. So see Olympic runner and look at the slow motion. See how pressure is changing, how the upper part of the body is just moving, and the lower part of the body is changing the spoke one after the other. So our body is such a design. I have the skeleton in my computer. If you wish, you can take it. And in a study, when you are walking, I read, I don't know how much it is correct or wrong. When the animal go on 4 foot, to learn how to walk in the two, it took 40 lakhs of years, 40 million years or something like, to learn how to balance the body on 2 legs. And when you are walking, you are not walking with 2 legs, you are walking with 1 leg. When you are getting the weight on the right leg, left leg is swinging. And when you are getting the weight of the left leg, right leg is swinging. So I have 70 kilos my weight. So imagine the ankle is taking 70 kilos. Do you feel it? Imagine if you wish to shift 70 kilos from left hand to the right hand. How difficult? At least 50 kilos, one cement bag in Sri Lanka. Bag of cement is 60 kilos. So there's a special people, otherwise you can't move. But when you are moving, you are taking the whole weight to the one leg, 70 kilos, still you don't feel. Because it is in the momentum. It is in a zigzag way. So it is a miracle a person to walk on the ground. And you see here 9 bones are there. They are taking the weight in such a way, even human being cannot make a backhoe such a smooth way. If you mechanically, and look again.
Strain.
Whenever you get a sprain here, then only you understand the work of the leg. You have to break your leg. Then only you understand how difficult it is. So therefore, when you are walking, maybe evening walk, how often do you look at your legs, your leg? You are looking at the other places everywhere around, never one's leg. So Buddha is the only teacher on the earth, asked disciples to take care of walking. All the other traditions, they have meditation, but only sitting. Never on walking meditation. And then the Buddha mentioned, if you are paying attention to the walking meditation, you will develop the immunity for long endurance, long task. Any tough task. So you have to, so a person like me traveling from this to the other place and like that, you have to get the acclimatization very quick. If your body is not acclimatized, you have to inject vitamin B12 injection, then you can acclimatize into the other place. So walking meditation needs a vitamin B12 injection. So Buddha, after the rainy retreat, he takes long journey about 9 months. Daily 15 kilometers per day, and then stay there. And next day another 15 kilometers, never use shoes. And lived up for 8 years. And Venerable Ananda has to guess whether he's going to get a long journey or short journey. The shortest is 8 months or 7 months. Long one is 9 months. So, before the journey, if a Buddha is going to take 2-3 morsels of more food, that means he is acclimatizing himself for the long journey. That's the way Venerable Ananda is catching. So, he is aware of how many morsels of food Buddha is taking. And he is taking long walking sessions. That means he is preparing his mind before long journey. So, he never says Ananda, be prepared for long journey. No preparation. He just go with the ball. Not in my case, I am carrying 14 kilos. But when the Buddha is traveling, he is taking only the ball and go. So when Ananda has to find all the things wherever he goes. So it's very key. But Buddha never tell him. Only he observe. Before the journey, the Buddha is going to take more walking sessions. That means he is going to take vitamin B12 injection. And for long journey. So if you know the art of walking meditation, most of your health problems go. So in Sri Lanka, in our monastery, for the arms rounds, you have to go 600 meters. That is little more than a kilometer, half a kilometer, and the steep slope. So if you go 10 days, for arms rounds, no diabetes, no cholesterol, no giddiness, no constipation. So from the way back they said, Bhante, when I come here, I have so much of fear and wife asked me to not to eat that and this and that other thing. But I don't know, due to meditation, everything. So then I said, not due to meditation, because you go arms rounds. I have to go twice for the retreat, one time and arms round one time. So I can feel my aging, where I feel tired. So I get a big stick and move. Slowly, sometimes at 7:30 in the evening. So walking meditation is a secret. You are very lazy balls. Very sluggish. So don't depend on the vitamins or any vitamin B12. Just walk as much as possible barefoot. So we have another video clip for more meditation. If possible, we'll see after that.
Yeah. So we have the final second question for this. Dear Bhante, I want to report how I dealt with going face to face with the mind object as mind object. As you mentioned yesterday, I was prepared to face the object without fear. This time I quickly willingly surrendered to the slowly approaching mind object. Now everything is one and mind is happy and the body is feeling those pleasant rolling massage-like vibrations until the bell rang. That was yesterday. Today, when I sat for sitting meditation, I could not find the circular breath at the end of muscle. I was a bit surprised because I usually find it a few seconds after I sit. Then I realized that the mind is already in the calm, contented state, and I realized that I had to do no more effort but just be. Then my mind rested. Then my mind for one whole hour. Repeat for one whole hour. Nothing to be done, so just be. This is the first time this experience happened. It is like trying to get your child into the car and realize the child is already sitting in the car, calm and collected.
So if you go prepared for the mind object, they are not coming. So simple. If you antagonize it, they will become exaggerating and they will be more and more get So anything come, no harm, just let them come. No problem. So you are the bloody fool, make antagonism and make fighting, and then so much you fight, so much it is become proliferate. Whatever maybe it is come, so why worry? Let them come. And be happy because you are prepared. You are, how to call that, immunized. So day by day you put into practice each and every time 100% success. And even calm, no problem. Even do not, still no problem. So that preparedness is a magic. The preparedness and the mindfulness, they are considered sometimes synonyms. They are going hand in hand. So we are always behind the board. We are not on the board, not be on the board. So we expect something other than what is happening. So that is our foolishness. The day you are ready to accept what is happening, you will be day by day put up energy, put up immunity, put up the adaptability. So that is almost equal with the scouting and guardians. Maybe even the motivation, You can bring that green one? Data pen?
Yeah. No.
So is it okay now to go for another 5 minutes of walking meditation? But I don't know whether the clip is available. What is the time now? 10 minutes. So till that you have any question or any other remarks on this thing, and meanwhile you can bring especially the green. Walking meditation.
Is it okay if I ask a personal question? I'm not sure if it...
You can come here.
That's fine.
Escapism.
I wanted to ask about this because I have, I'm getting like chest tightness.
Talk to the mic.
I get chest tightness when I'm sitting meditation, but I also have like a low lung capacity. I'm not sure if it's because I'm conscious about it. So I was trying every way to change the patterns of breathing. I tried like deep breaths, and then I get tired a little bit. And I tried to go to like my normal breath. It's very subtle that it's not really when there's no like I feel like I'm not even breathing much. Then I go back to the deep breath. So after a little while, I get like chest tightness. But at times I could stay focused and keep meditating. It's like I think I found a pattern going like four times focusing on my breath, 2 times focusing on my movements of my belly. So it kind of works to keep going. But sometimes it's hard to tell when it happens, but I'm changing patterns, like so I'm getting tired and getting chest tightness. Is there any advice that you can give?
The way I can remind two things. Your tilt of your head is deciding the pressure on the chest. So if you are bending forward, and then day by day you will start developing diseases, because the neck tilts decide the pressure on the nervous system. So sometimes shoulder disturbances, chest and kind of thing, and the angle at the hip also. That's a physics. So you can do it by stretching and kind of thing. The second thing is, whenever the chest becomes tightened, make it as a sign for mindfulness.
Which means I focus on the chest and head?
No, you see, this is, I am mindful on my body. It is under your very nose. It's here and now. It's a clear sign. Why should you just take breathing and other things? When the pain happens, it's a clear sign you are here and now. Why fight? And when you are mindful, even if you die, no problem. So you are fighting with the result of your mindfulness. You are making a question out of answers. If you are not mindful, your chest pain may come and go, you don't know. When you are mindful, it's and everything will become very thin slicing of time and very panoramic. So don't fight with it. The mindfulness is like a magnifying glass. When you are pain happens, it's a reason to throw a party. Because it is here and now. So we are going to take painkillers and baths and all the kind of things, so much so you are away from the Nibbana. Learn how to make your sick, because it is never unverifiable. It is never past, never future, never from other people, other places. Pain is such a thing, pull you to the mindfulness. And if you are going to make adjustment, you are ever in your life, you will fighting. So this is the perspective. The pain is a good omen while it's sitting. Because after the experience of pain only, vipassana and jnana will arise. If you avoid the pain, you avoid the jnana, avoid the knowledge. If you go through the pain, the other side is the knowledge. So likewise, you learn the first truth of suffering. What is the first truth of suffering? Suffering. First truth is suffering. So when the pain happens, if you are going to avoid the truth, the truth, so can you expect the second, third, fourth truths? If you avoid in the first, you try to be friendly. That is what we call, you familiarize your day-to-day suffering. It's a doorway to understand here I am mindful.
In one sitting, I also like some was describing that it's like a long tunnel, more like a mine. There's like frames in the tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, I actually saw like a Buddha statue. The background was dark, like black. I just didn't like the darkness, like I didn't want it to be black. But I wasn't fighting. I just, I was like, okay, I don't want to see this. And I just came back to my breath immediately. I know I was aware of, what was happening. But sometimes, some occasions, when I see some things that I'm not sure if I was sleeping or awake, mindful. So it changes time to time. And sometimes I feel like it's hard to tell if I'm sleeping or what, but I'm mindful, but my body is like, I feel like my body is asleep, but I'm mindful. You can let me.
Yeah, it's happening now. You already.
But I wasn't sure if I was actually sleeping.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind, you are not killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slandering. You see how much you are safe. It's a dead sure. You're completely away from transgression and defilements. And anything happen not intentional. No karmic forces. So why worry? Otherwise you will be killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slandering, harsh words. So when you come to something happening, I am not sure. And you can do it 1001 times and make sure one day it is a conceptual reality. When you go into the tunnel at the back and the Buddha happen, whatever may be, you have your likings and disliking. You don't like black, you like Buddha. But if you are a Muslim, what will happen? Bloody Buddha is not necessarily black, is better. You see, our mind is utterly crazy, already pre-decided. So just report it. When you are reporting, you say, it's a mad world. Our values we have embedded. It's leading us like a horse with a harness. We are slaves of our likings and disliking. We are slaves of our preconceived ideas. But in meditation, it happened non-judgmentally. The moment you let them happen without choice, such a release. At the beginning, you have to learn the art. You learn the art and then let the mind to be non-judgmental. Evenly suspended attention and choicelessness. And then you find thing comes and go, who cares?
So in that case, it is like, for example, like if I see the channel, even if I didn't like the color, just keep on watching.
Yeah, you have no choice. Do you think? No, that's okay. That is why we are unwantedly forking fingers. But mind you, you have no choice. It's an uneditable DVD. You have to just see. You can't edit it. If you think you are a fool, you are an idiot. Dark, it's DVD. Already prepared. See, just see it. And Ajahn Brahm says in Mexico, in the film halls, the screen is a concrete, not the clothing one. Then it gets heated, and this is one person going and ask that usually you put a screen with the cloth. Why you are making this? Because most of them are cowboys. If the fighting happens, they take the pistol and fight. So if the cloth, then everything will be damaged, but if it is glass, no problem. They don't know they are in a picture. They don't know whatever may be next film is already filmed. So why worry? But they can't wait. They take the pistol and fire. So like we also fool. We also like Mexican film stories. They know the meaning. So that when you express yourself, very easy for someone to contribute to you. But you don't know how to express and what to express. We are learning the second language like elders, so we have to do mistakes. No, it is not a mistake, of course. Because it is electric. Moment you tell, answer is it's very, very close. So therefore that we must have trust each other and then do the experiment and give the results without prejudgmental commentaries. They are worst. Imagine when we are not mindful, imagine when you are in the fish market, when you are in the carnival, when you are in the party, at the kind of a show.
So we'll end up the